Hi, well, this is Bonnie, and she's one of our new 5-star dogs. And I just wanted to introduce to you our kind of holistic approach with doggies. So we've been supporting Bonnie recently, and we've changed her food. So she's now off kibble and off canned meat, and she's been put on fresh food. And that relates to her constitution as well. So she's a fire dog. So if you take the quiz at 5star.dog, you'll be able to find out what element your dog is, because that tells us so much, as I'll show you now how we use the elements based on ancient Chinese wisdom, and how we help rebalance the dog and restore the dog back to its full vital force. So yeah, so we've changed the food, and the next step really, when we look at the dog, look at Bonnie, what her intelligent body is showing us, her inner dog tour, as we call it, in 5-star, is she's showing signs of itchiness. Her left ear is very dry and with some yellow, like dry crust. It's quite red. So this basically is showing me that there is excess fire. So she's a fire dog, but there's excess heat in her body, and that's what you see in fire dogs. Sometimes it's it could be excess or it could be deficient, but in her case, because she's itchy, red hot ear, excess. So the other thing, she's got a little fatty lump right at the base of the tail, sorry, at the top of the tail. You gorgeous. Yeah. So that's interesting as well. And basically these fatty lumps are kind of storing toxins. So we need to look at that. But it's kind of, what's really good is that Bonnie shows good signs of health, because the fatty lump is the furthest away from all her organs. So that's a good sign. But obviously there is something imbalanced in there, and we'll look at that in a little while. So the major key that her energy is giving us, actually, is there's a wart. She has a wart, left side, midline of her body, on the left side, by quite fairly near her spine. So, hey, gorgeous. All right, I'm going to let her go. You could go. So what's that? That is showing that it's on the bladder meridian. Now, warts act like acupuncture needles. So her body, intelligent body, has created this wart it's like an acupuncture needle that's trying to stimulate that bladder meridian. And because what we are seeing was really interesting. What we saw with Bonnie, there she is. Look at that. She's so magnificent, gorgeous. What we've seen is that her hind legs are weak. Now that shows that there's some kind of the element of water. There is an imbalance. Now the bladder meridian obviously is linked with the kidneys, and yeah, so there's an issue in the hind legs area. So what her body's trying to do, because there's excess fire, her body's trying to stimulate the water side of things, and we're talking energy here. So it's trying to stimulate the water so it kind of can control the fire. And when you see the elemental pentagram, which I'll put up, you'll see that water obviously controls fire. So that's what her intelligent body is trying to do, trying to always rebalance. So it's trying to boost the water energy. So how we can help Bonnie in this is we can give her more of a water diet, which you can see on our website what kind of foods you give. But obviously things like whitefish, sardines would be a real must. So now the next part of this is to help cleanse these toxins that she may have that are stored in this fatty lump. We can use homeopathics such as calc sulf. These are tissue salts that are great blood cleansers. Nat sulf, which is brilliant for the lymph. The lymph is key in this. And we can also massage the bladder meridian along the spine. So these are the kind of some supports that we can give generally her terrain. So we're not treating symptoms here. There's no treating symptoms. It's treating her vital force, her terrain. Once that's balanced, then the symptoms fall away naturally. So we're not chasing symptoms here. We're looking exactly what the dog is showing us, and the dog is always right. So we just need to know the symbolism, and then we can adapt through food, through energetic medicine. We can adapt things so she can then rebalance. So what else is interesting is where that wart is, and it's in the midline. Yeah, it's on the bladder meridian, but it's also pointing to her spleen as an organ that might be out of balance. Now, spleen is incredibly important in the body. Its job is to transform and transport fluids, and when it's weak, you get this thing called damp phlegm accumulation. The metabolism is not strong enough to digest food and all these other factors that the spleen can affect, because the spleen is linked with the pancreas as well, and in the stomach. Now, this is all the earth element now. So what we're seeing in Bonnie is she's very, very food. I mean, she's given fantastic food, but she's very food obsessed, you could say. Now, that is diminishing as we give her the right foods for her constitution, but still there is this. The reason why it's important is that fatty lump again is a sign that there could be damp phlegm in the system. So the way we counteract this in an earth kind of imbalance is that doggies have to have warm, cooked, easy, digestible food, really. Raw is not great. Cold, raw food is not great for this kind of imbalance. So we would veer more to the warm cooked side. And then we can give homeopathics to strengthen the spleen, help the pancreas, and help the stomach. So hopefully this has shown the kind of holistic approach that we take. We look at symptoms, we look at things that have appeared on the body, and then we really can go deeper into the dog's systems, organ systems, and then we can help with rebalancing with natural foods, always natural, fresh, and energy medicine, energy remedies that will match Bonnie's terrain, what her terrain needs, so then it rebalances, and then the symptoms become superfluous. So we always look at the deeper aspects of what these signs are showing us, and the key is always to rebalance the system, and these elements give us a real incredible key to what actually is going on internally and what your dog needs from a holistic and natural point of view. So I hope that helps and gives you a little bit more idea of what 5-Star Dog is about and our holistic approach. And if you'd like to find out what element your dog is and start the journey there, please visit www.5star.dog. Have a great day with your divine being.